Hey there, how you doing? My name is Paul Murphy. The original start of this video, by the way, I didn't do it, but what I was going to do is I could click record and then I was just going to, in case you thought it frozen up, but then you might just have turned off, so I didn't. Hi, my name is Paul Murphy, and I am the author of this book here, which is a Christmas Carol. No, not that one, a different one. And it is a spoof on the famous Scrooge, Dickens classic, and I thought I'd read you some pieces from it. So I'm going to. Oh, I didn't say I'd read them out loud. I'm sorry. I need to find a place. Where shall I start here? This is one of my favourite of my own books, actually. I really should have done this. some replaying of the last one. Right, to find out where I got to. Right, I'm going to start with stave 2, which is on page 67. There, I'll get going in a minute, don't worry. I just need to sit up a bit. Oh, there. Right, stave 4, in which Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by the ghost of Christmas past. Why do I use such weird fonts? A dressage? Oh, a presage. The room was empty. Well, except for furniture, fixtures, fittings, utensils, Scrooge. In fact, the room was as full as it was, except for one apparition and fresh air. Scrooge sat and pondered. Then he stood up and pondered to save on wear and tear. He closed his eyes but to blink, and when they reopened, he was in his bed. He rubbed his eyes, 2 up top, 1 down below. There was nothing to indicate they had been anywhere but in bed this whole time, well, save for the full chamber pot. Bah, humbug, he snorted. He paused and thought, why he couldn't have done both at the same time is a mystery. No, I prefer it this way, he muttered, and snorted. Ha! Humbug, bumhug instead. 'Twas naught but a dream, he said to himself. Are you sure? He asked himself. What other explanation could there be? He replied to himself, by means of another question. Let me think, he answered himself. But nothing came to mind. Nothing has come to mind, he informed himself. So, are we settled on dream then? He queried himself. We are, he agreed with himself, and settled back down into his lonesome bed, pulling his thin, threadbare blanket over his thin, threadbare body, and making a mental note not to eat cheese before he went to bed ever again, unless they dropped the price. If he was going to have such hallucinations, then LSD was still 2p cheaper. He'd just been visited by Jacob Marley, which is what I'm leading off here. I'm sure you know the book, or the film, or the brass rubbing. He thought back on his experiences. First he had taken the paper off, then he had cut it into cubes, then he had eaten it 1 cube at a time until it was all gone. Then he thought back on his other, non-cheese experience, and shuddered at the thought of the hideousness of what he had encountered. An unrepaid farthing, he grimaced, and pulled the blanket up to his chin. You can go now, Chin, he said to him. It's warm enough. Can't you get a bloody hot water bottle? Scrooge heard being said under breath as the bedroom door closed. Scrooge lay on his side to save wear and tear and cast his mind back, although it was only 5 minutes ago, so he might not have bothered. It was a shorter cast than the non-white production of Othello performed by MPs for charity. Oh, political statement. Jacob Murphy coming to his mind after all these years. Jacob Murphy being a play on Jacob Marley. And dressed like a punk rocker on steroids. And the strange tales are telling too of ghost times 3 and hints of retribution. What could it mean? He decided to look it up in his Oxford Book of Ghostly Visitations and Birds of the British Empire. No dark ones. Compendium. Yet more political satire. I doubt if this will help, he mused, but turned nonetheless to page 198. Chapter 12. Possible visitations by ex-business partners called Jacob, focusing on ones wearing chains and money boxes and banging on about imminent appearances by ghosts and ghouls. This is not going to be any help. Jacob never said anything about ghouls, he tutted, and threw the book away unread, like it was the new J.K. growling tome. Interval of diatribe there. The silence was ominous. He whistled to himself quietly for comfort, pausing only to sue himself for copyright infringement. For all of his bravado, Scrooge felt a sense of foreboding, and at full price too. I need to cheer myself up, he thought, and reached under the pillow. He pulled out a blank notepad that had "Where the F is Waldo" written on the front, and stared at the empty page 11. Can't think why this book never took off, he mused. Tuppence and your imagination last you for 20 years. Well, unless you run out of toilet paper. After a quarter of an hour he threw the book down. I can't focus, he thought to himself, although it took him half an hour to think it. He rummaged once again under his pillow and pulled out a copy of Nuns of the World that had the title crossed out and "Where's Dildo" written over it. My favourite book, he mused. Sixpence and your imagination last you for 5 minutes, unless you run out of toilet paper. After a quarter of an hour of bachelor exercise, he wiped the book down, closed his eyes, and drifted off into sleep. First ghost. There was a rustling of the curtains. The candles blew out. The door slammed shut. Curse that curry, moaned Scrooge, and lifted the blanket to make an escape hatch, workhouse window side. He relit a candle, and suddenly he froze in terror. He remembered how much candles cost. Suddenly he froze in terror again. He got to like it by now. But just as he was about to settle down again for the night, promising himself a quick freeze in terror in the morning if he woke up in the mood, he froze in terror yet again, and this time without fun the second time. There, in the corner of the room, was a right angle. And standing in front of that right angle was an apparition of ghastly spectral horror. Do some ominous piano chords for yourself there. Go on, treat yourselves. Not that way. Wash your hands and come back. Who are you? Stammered Scrooge with clenched... I'm going to do that again. Come on now. Jaw exercises. And warming them up. If my ex-wife is watching, you'll know why. Sorry. Who are you? Stammered Scrooge with clenched teeth and commensurate buttocks. Ebenezer Scrooge. No, that's who I am. Let me finish, will you? Blimey. You know, if I had picked a different straw, I'd be round Lily Langtry's boudoir now, showing her what is going to become of her next Christmas, and on how many different bits of furniture. Now, as I was ghouling, Ebenezer Scrooge, I am the ghost of Christmas past. You're the ghost of Chris's arse? Chris who? No, I am the ghost of Christmas past. Do I have to spell it out for you? Only if you want Scratchet to write it down. That's a joke about Bob Scratcher being dyslexic, I'm afraid. Which occurs on page 32. Buy the book and treat yourself. Yes, that way. Where do we get to? Scrooge is talking to a ghost, isn't he? That's right. What do we do? Oh, there it is there. What do you want from me, spirit? And would you settle for a candle? Like new, but no box. Like new? There's just a wick left. Sorry, no refunds. See yourself out, will you? No, I won't. I happen to be here for a reason. You're a ghostogram and someone's got the date of my birthday wrong? No. You're a travelling salesman from Orphans R Us? No. You're a mobile colonic irrigation service? No. Try telling that to my sheets. I am here, Ebenezer Scrooge, to show you the error of your ways. Couldn't you have done it by post? No, it has to be done in person. That's okay, I've got a large letterbox. I don't need... Look, will you just sit there and listen? You're not my only call tonight, you know. I'm not? No. Well, yes you are. But 'tis Christmas Eve and I want to knock off early. So then, you stand there and quiver while I extemporize. Now, where hath my script gone? Script? Yes. How can you extemporize yet still use a script? It's an oxymoron. I don't care if it is an oxy, And 2, don't be so rude. Good evening, friends. Circa joke circa Bob Hope 1930. So, Mr. Smarty but suspiciously soiled pants, if I am not extemporizing, what am I doing? I assume you're going to do some exposition? I'm exposing nothing, Mush. Look, let's just get on with it, okay? For we have got a long night ahead of us. I'm happy to reschedule. No, it has to be tonight. I'm happy to reschedule you to someone else. Have you ever heard of Bob Scratchit? He's doing nothing tonight. Well, unless he's settled down with a crossword. In which case, he's going to be busy until New Year's Eve. I'm terribly sorry because that's there's nothing funny about dyslexia, but I've used it. And I've used it in a numerical context here to raise dyslexia awareness. As an aside, it has nothing to do with the book. I've always been puzzled by the fact, the word dyslexia was the best in the world. It's a hard enough word to read in any case, isn't it? Where was I to? I was going to go elsewhere with it, but I decided not to. No, stop interrupting. Now you, Ebenezer Scrooge, have been mean, evil, cruel, ignorant of the needs of the poor, uncaring of the needs of the dispossessed, and deaf to the plight of children in need. Have you ever thought about standing for Peterborough Council? That is a personal reference there. No. Now, I don't know what voice to do Scrooge's in. I'll just use my own, I guess. No. In that case, there is no excuse. There's always an X, because otherwise there would only be 25 letters in the alphabet. A little bit of wordplay there to lighten the mood. Next time you get... Just rewind it a bit. I think it was over here. Next time you get the urge, I'm going to do the lead up into it. In that case, there is no excuse. There's always an X, because otherwise there would only be 25 letters in the alphabet. A little bit of wordplay there to lighten the mood. Next time you get the urge, can you give me a minute's notice so that I can prepare? To listen intently? No, to ignore it completely. Now come with me as I take you back in time. You can do that? Yes. In that case, can we stop off at Sherry Newman's house on my 17th birthday? I've learned how to last a lot longer since then. I know, I did a dry run last night and caught you practicing. But no, we will not be taking any detours, so take my hand. No, the other one, I don't trust you with my watch. And we will let the mists of time part, and we will travel back. We seem to be still here, said Scrooge 5 minutes later. I know. It's hard to read a map in this light. Can't you fire us up another candle? Goodness no, they've got to last me until 1900 at least. It's already midnight, so you've made it. Come on, get one lit. You don't seem to have come very well prepared. Well, I forgot which voice I'm doing now. Well, it was a bit last minute, 'tis true. 'Twas my night off, but one of the ghosts phoned in sick. Bad tummy. Eating something that didn't agree with him. Goulash? Chuckle. Yes, goulash. Very good. No, he ate a miser who didn't agree to shut up and come for a trip back to the past. Here, Spirit, have 2 candles. You're very amenable. And with that the Spirit threw his hands up in the air and regret not putting his cup of tea down first. There was a funny line in there that I blew completely due to my speech impediment. There was a blinding flash, a deafening noise, and a subsequent lawsuit from the Health and Safety Executive. Shall I carry on a little bit further? I shall carry on a little bit further. You already know that because, of course, the little box at the bottom tells you how long I've been rabbiting on for. Or aardvarking on for, in my case. We don't have rabbits in Somerset. Political reasons. Where did I get to? The past. First attempt. Yeah. There you go. Read it yourself. Just let me get my mouth back in order. There. If I do that, you can see the cover as well, can't you? Later or earlier. That's time travel for you. Where are we, Spirit? Asked Scrooge. Peterborough. Peterborough! Oh, Spirit, how could you be so cruel, so mean, so heartless? I beg you. What kind of voice is that he is? I beg you, take me home, or to a sewer. Either is preferable. No, Ebenezer Scrooge, for I take you back to when you were a young man in this God-forsaken place. Spirit, I've never been to Peterborough. What? Peterborough. I've never lived here. Never been here before in my life. Oy vey, in fact. Are you sure? Of course. Fucking gargoyle maps. Gargoyle maps? Yes, we use a gargoyle to do our searching for us. He does a lot of other stuff too. Maps, craven images, celebrity gossip. Celebrity gossip? Oh yes, we like to keep up with who the Prince of Wales has been diddling, who has gone into a clinic to have their warts removed from their private parts. Sometimes it's the same thing. We're no different from mortals in that respect, apart from the fact our voice keeps changing from a deep ghost-like voice into Paul Murphy's normal reading voice. So, said Scrooge, because everyone's gone off completely. Who's he talking about now? Whose line is that? So, said Scrooge, thou art immortal then. After a fashion. We live outside of life, those of us that are chosen, and in time we do perish, but not in a time span that your feeble mortal mind can comprehend. Thou dost like to blow thine own trumpet, dost thou not? I do not. For a start, I cannot get my head down that far. I meant thou art something of a braggart. Oh, well, so did I. But I am not. Thou cannot possibly glean what lies beyond your petty dimensions, the myriad of complex possibilities that lie within the without, nor the indiscernible imperceptibles that we spirits undertake and utilize to bend distance and time itself to our will. And yet, here we are in Peterborough. I didn't say it was a good means of transport. On a par with a wheelless coach pulled by a dead horse. Shush! I need to concentrate. I've not done this since last Christmas Eve, and the equipment has gone a bit rusty. Preaching to the choir, brother. I caught you trying to rub the rust off earlier on tonight. Right, I think that has done it. Okay, where did thee start up in business? And I shall take us there instead. Oh, it was Miss Katie's exotic massage parlour in Paris. Nice try. Wouldn't it be funny if I moved us there, but left your balls behind? Dagenham? I started up in Dagenham. The spirit lifted his arms, and with a smattering burst of prismic light and a fragment of serrated sound, the pair disappeared into the ether. The ether was prepared on the next page. The past, second attempt. Milliseconds later, the pair appeared out of the ether. Scrooge looked around him. Yes, he still had 2 buttocks. A quick feel down below confirmed that the swinging twins were still intact as well. There, Ebenezer Scrooge, there, gaze, gaze, I say, upon sands of time long fled the hourglass. Gaze ye again, it's Panto's season, I can't help myself. Gaze ye again upon days that has been lost to ye forever, and begin to comprehend at last all that lies in store for ye this e'en. Cast thine mind back, 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 then back again. Now, do you remember this scene ye stare upon with thy bewildered and fathoming eyes? Yes, 'tis my place, about 2 minutes after we first left it. What? Yes, thou hast brought us back to where we were. See, there be my cup of warm milk that I was drinking before I went to bed. Ooh, still nicely tepid. Care for a sip? No. Oi, this is a night and a half already. Well, let's just call it quits then. I'm feeling well repented, spirit. Oh, many lessons have I learnt. Such as? Well, never get in a cab if you're the driver. 'Tis ye, Scrooge, sending my calculations off with thy base evilness. That's a bit harsh, be it not? I would not actually class myself as, evil. Really? Let's have a preamble whilst I get my bearings sorted. For a start, look at some of your money-raising schemes. Guess which kitten the crocodile will catch? Pedo Pinata. National Punch a Cripple Day. For charity. None of these seem particularly charitable to me. What was the raised money to be used for? Seeing eye wolverines. And how did that work out? Oh, we never... I'm still here, carry on. Oh, we never raised enough money to actually buy one. All the money went on what they do term administration costs. What sort of administration costs? Well, renovating and decorating my house took up most of it. How much is most? All. All? If you knew, why did you ask? I said it incredulously, not confirmingly. How did you manage to spend all the money you raised on decorating your house? It's outrageous. No, it's just an ordinary house. What I meant was spending all the charity money that was raised on decorating your house was outrageous. I know. I can't believe how much he charged me. Thieving bloody decorator. It is him you should be antsy with, Spirit, not me. In many ways, I am as much a victim of the can't be bothered to raise money for myself brigade. Sorry, I am as much a victim as the can't be bothered to raise money for myself brigade. The blind, you mean? Blind? Blind? Yes, the blind who the seeing eye wolverines were for. Oh, they weren't for the blind. Well, who were they intended for? Shepherds. Shepherds? If you knew, why did you ask? Why on earth would shepherds need seeing eye wolverines? It gets dark at night. Hard to find a sheep in the dark, apart from the one in your bunk. But they have sheepdogs. Oh, nothing finds a gaily gambling errant young lamb faster than a wolverine. And they bring them back safely? Of course. In one piece? Well, in their stomachs mainly. How is that in any way beneficial? If you turn the page faster, you'd have found out faster. Saves on Wolverine feed. Work with me here, Spirit. You have to look at the all-round savings. That'd be why the admin costs were so high. You need to extend your allowance to do this kind of thinking. Lot of pacing and chin scratching going on. That reminds me, I must sack Chin tomorrow. Hello, I'm Paul Murphy. Thank you for coming to this video. So, whose voice am I doing here? I'm doing the Spirit. I'm still the Ghost of Christmas Past here. So, said the Ghost of Christmas Past, your charitable aim was to purchase wolverines to assist shepherds in finding lost lambs, only when they found them, they would eat the little lambs up rather than collect and return them? Oh, there is a lot more to it than that. There is? Oh, yes, much more to it than mere eating. There's all the rending and mauling and tearing limb from limbing that goes before it. Very thorough procedure. You don't get that with sheepdogs. That's why they cost so much. Here, I've got some etchings of one in action. Have a look. Oh my God, that's the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life. What a vile, sickening, repugnant sight. I haven't shown you them yet. I know your dressing gown just blew open. Hands up all those who saw that one coming. Yeah, look at you all there. Hey, come on, show those bits. I do not wish to see your etchings. Take them away. Or your itchings. Do your gown up. Why would you want images of such a hideous act in any case? Extra fundraising. Sell them. To whom? Well, I haven't got that far. Probably advertise them down the nursery. Kids like lambs, although not as much as wolverines do. Children like living lambs, not ones in assorted pieces clapped between the teeth of a wild, ravenous, salivating creature. Well, don't take them down the seaman's mission then. I wasn't going to. Good. Children and seamen? Bad combination. Anyway, since we didn't raise any money, then we didn't get any wolverines. Thus, your disagreement with the stated aim is somewhat moot. I don't understand the intention anyway. Why not get seeing eye dogs if you're going to get anything? Shepherds already have dogs. That would just be extravagant. You could have given the seeing eye dogs to people who needed them. The blind, for instance. That would be a waste. Why? They wouldn't know where they were. We lose so many dogs that way. Give them to them. Oh man. I apologise in advance. give them to... This is Scrooge speaking, not me, okay? Before you write your letters in. Not that you can find the postbox. Oh, madre de Dios. So, Scrooge was saying, they wouldn't know where they were. We lose so many dogs that way. Give them to a blindie, they go for a walk, tie the dog to a bench while they go behind the bush for a piss, come back, fumble, untie a pram and walk home with Mrs. Smithick's baby. Or try to. Potluck, really. Home, river, train lines. You never know where they'll end up. Yes, you lose so many dogs that way. And babies. and blind people, although they normally get murdered by the courting couples behind the bushes first. Perhaps it would be an idea if they went to the bathroom before going out then. Just an idea off the top of my head. That's what the courting couples think, considering what's running off the top of their heads. It'd be a half thought through idea, Spirit. You have to take the cleaning lady into account. I know I do. I've been writing her off against tax in my accounts for years. See that entry there? It says 2 shillings, medicinal purposes, Mrs. Ganglewort. Medicinal purposes? Makes me feel better. Anyway, as I was saying, have you ever tried to take a whiz in a tin can at midnight in the dark? Occasionally. And how successful was thy aim, Spirit? Not so many occasions. Right. Imagine trying to do it blind. It is all very well and good suggesting that they go for a whiz before they go out. It isn't so much fun for the poor person that has to clean the surprise up. In the camp, you're lucky if they get it in the right room. Quick tip. No, I'm so sorry. No. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. I've only got 3 minutes left to go in any case. Okay, what's the lead line into that joke? Okay. I don't believe this, said the spirit that goes to Christmas past. Couldn't thou think of a better, no corpses likely to occur, cause to raise money for? Oh, I did. Last year. Last year it was therapy constrictors for the anxious. Very successful, that one was. It was? Oh, yes. That's why I used the word was instead of wasn't. Or tomato. Why would you say tomato? Well, because I'm not tomatoist. I hope you're not. I've never given it that much thought, to be honest. Well, isn't that just half the problem? You want to change your way, Spirit, or you'll likely get a visit one night from the ghost of tomatoes past, present and salad. What the fuck? Stop leading me off topic! And how was therapy constrictors for the anxious in any way successful? See that conservatory out there? Yes? Good. I will allow you to open my fridge. Just checking. Well, 1 year ago, I did not have a conservatory there. Well, 1 year ago, Spirit, I did not have a conservatory there. All that was there was a shed for Scratch's children to shelter in during thunderstorms. Now I have a conservatory. I stand in it sometimes during thunderstorms and watch Scratch's children trying to shelter under a lettuce leaf. That is what I call success. Are you telling me, Scrooge, that you took the money raised for therapy constrictors for the anxious and used it to build a conservatory? No, Spirit, that would be terrible. I used the money for administration costs. I think I'm ahead of the game here, but what exactly were the administration costs? Well, I needed somewhere to do the administration, and so I had to have a conservatory built. That used up all the money raised, unfortunately. Could thou not have done the administration in here? Oh, no. Why not? Well, this wasn't built then. I only built and decorated this after I had raised money for seeing eye Wolverines. This year. Keep up, will you, Spirit? It is scandalous that you use all the charity money to have a conservatory built. I know. Again, bloody builder and his outrageous prices. Scandal isn't the word for it. Could you not have sourced a different builder? Well, the first one gave me such a good quote. He did? Yes, he did. He said, and I quote, I'll have it done by Sunday, Mr. Scrooge. And what did thou say? I said, no. Good. Good for you. What then? I continued, you will have it done on Sunday, Scratchit, or I will fire you. I am a great incentivizer, me. You got Scratchit to build your conservatory? Yes. In 1 day? Yes. On his own? Oh no, he had lots of help. He did? Yes, his children all helped. Well, the one in Calipers not so much. Especially when I took one off him to fix a broken leg on my kitchen table. Oh, he just stood there wandering around in circles. Come on, kids, I encourage them. The sooner Daddy gets my conservatory built, the sooner you can have this lettuce leaf to shelter under. I'm a great motivator, me. Goodness. Oh, goodness. I hope you at least rewarded Bob Scratchit. Oh, sorry. Goodness. Oh, goodness. I hope you at least rewarded Bob well. Who's Bob Well? Not Bob Well. Bob Well. Bob Scratchit. Oh, that's his first name. You didn't know what his first name was? After 10 years of working for you? I thought his first name was Scratchit. Well, what did you think his surname was then? Scratchit? You thought his name was Scratchit Scratchit? No. What did you think it was then? No, I mean, I never thought of it. It never occurred to me that he could afford two names, really. I've been overpaying him. Oh dear. So, how much did you reward him for building your conservatory? Nothing. Nothing? If you knew, why did you ask? Again, incredulously. Why did you pay him? Nothing. Especially since it was being built out of charity donations. Surely you could at least have donated something towards Bob. Bob who? Bob Scratchit. You can't have forgotten already. I only just told you that was his name. Oh, I was thinking of a different Bob. Bob who? No, not Bob who. I haven't thought about him in years. Look, focus. Let me reword, just for the sake of time. Why did you not reward Scratchit for building your conservatory? I did. You said you paid him nothing. I didn't say I paid him. I said I rewarded him. Good job, Scratchit, I said. Now get the fuck off my property or I'll set a Wolverine one. Take your kids with you. Don't forget the one stuck in the mud up to his knees. Well, knee either. I think praise is reward enough, don't you, Spirit? No. Oh, well, he's poor. He'll get his reward in heaven. Or possibly not, since he bunked off church to build my conservatory. It was his turn to read the sermon that Sunday as well, and to conduct Jeremiah Cunbustrop's remembrance service. I remember Scratch was late into work the next morning. Gave me some cock and bull story about how it takes a long time for him to get tar and feathers off of you. I had to dock him a week's pay to teach him a lesson. You docked him a week's pay? I know I did, but thanks for agreeing with me. I'm not agreeing with you. I'm merely repeating what you said. Well, if it makes you happy, knock yourself out. There you go. Feel free to repeat that as well. I think I'm all out of file on this one here now. I am not saying it in any way, shape or form happily. I cannot believe... yeah, no, I'm not... The next line. Bite yourself and read it yourself. Okay, I've been Paul Murphy and you have been absolutely fantastic with your time. I'm sorry I stumbled over a few of the words there. I haven't read the book itself in a year, and my jaw is not the best. You have been absolutely great. I am so grateful to you. Should you, on a more serious note, ever choose to buy any of my books, some there and some there, they're all on Amazon. Thank you with my extreme gratitude, not on behalf of myself, all the royalties. I don't get a cent from them. Happy to put these videos up for free, honoured to do so in fact. All the royalties go to my children, not to myself, for reasons which if you look at the health videos, you'll know. That was a sad ending, wasn't it? Say bye-bye, slothies. Bye-bye, slothies. Donate a bit extra so I can rebuild the computer table. Peace and love.